What up with it, baby?
Hey, tell him what you told me.
What I tell you?
What you doing it for?
Oh, promotion, baby.
All right.
What
So
you
I ain't
mean?
gotta
But we should spar.
I ain't gotta fuck him up.
We should spar.
Best. I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound for pound fighter in the sport, and I can't wait to show it.
You said this week that you were in for a rude awakening when you get to 140. What do you think he's in for when he goes up against you?
I think he just don't realize how good I am. I think come fight night, he's going to realize that I'm going to take it to another level that he has never seen before. So if he's expecting the Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor fight to happen, it won't be that type of fight. Senior, tell him. We talking to Senior. We ain't talking to little dude over here. Senior,
fight is a different version of me.
I know.
And I love it because even the people out there don't know what they're going to get from me. And that's the beauty about it. He could be studying, he could be doing a lot of things, but he's not going to know till the day of the fight. So.
Terence Crawford recently issued a stern message to Teofimo Lopez, emphasizing that taking Shakur Stevenson lightly would be a major error. He made it clear that Stevenson's skills demand respect, and that any miscalculation could come at a high cost.
The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has. And given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. That's how I feel about myself.
You seen me around a lot.
Oh, no.
Don't act like you ain't seen me around.
Them days.
He said that.
Bud, come on. Terrence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
Straight, boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when the motherfucker trying to run out.
Crawford highlighted that Shakur Stevenson's precision, timing, and boxing intelligence make him a serious threat at the elite level. He pointed out that Stevenson's defensive skills are designed to create openings for devastating counters, warning that if Teofimo Lopez gets careless or overextends, he could take significant damage or even face a knockout.
I'm gonna just say all of them. It don't matter who they is. He ready for the big test and the big names, and he's going to do well with each and every one of them. And
in a separate encounter, Crawford faced Teofimo Lopez head-on, sparking a tense showdown. He directly questioned Lopez's mindset and strategy regarding Shakur Stevenson, making it unmistakably clear that underestimating Shakur could have serious repercussions once they step into the ring. Terence Crawford expressed full confidence that Shakur Stevenson will prove his abilities when the opportunity comes. He emphasized that Shakur's discipline, precise timing, and defensive instincts set him apart from other elite fighters. Crawford added that once Shakur steps into the spotlight, his technique, patience, and ring control will be undeniable, showing why he is regarded as one of boxing's most well-rounded talents. He also reflected briefly on his own past fights.
Excellent. He was sharp. He was letting his hands go. He was standing in the pocket more. He probably got hit just a little bit too much because he was trying to please everybody that's saying, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. I talked to him and told him, just be yourself. Just keep winning. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say and what the people that's having certain agendas against them.
Dan Kenneby and Chris Aldry analyzed the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson matchup, examining both the business and boxing perspectives. They noted that with Matchroom controlling the Joshua card, a PBC crossover fight seems improbable. They also suggested that if Teofimo loses, Shakur is likely to remain at 140 pounds rather than drop back to 135, a move that rarely occurs. The analyst highlighted that the 140-pound division is deep and entertaining, pointing out that Shakur has the most difficulty against counter-punches rather than brawlers, which makes certain matchups unlikely even if fans are eager to see them.
For the Joshua card, so therefore we're not going to put a PBC fighter on it. Anyway, Gary Antoine, I mean, all these fights are good. Like, if Teofimo ends up losing to Shakur, Shakur goes into this mix, and I do think Shakur will stay at 140 for a little bit. So, and you also have
I think he stays from now on. I don't think he goes back to 35.
Yeah, it's very rare we see these guys go down after they go up. You got to add in Shakur, you got to add in Pitbull Cruz, you got to add in Lamont Roach. There's some other good names on 140 as well. But yeah, I would say Smith presents something to this puzzle at 140 is that he's from England and he can sell over there. And if you're Hitchens, who's not the biggest ticket seller here in New York, and you want a unification, you think you could beat Dalton Smith, you might have to go overseas to do it, where you could make a lot more money. Gary Antoine Russell versus Smith stylistically is great. Shakur versus Dalton Smith is stylistically great. Shakur, it's just a fun division.
I don't want to see that.
What?
I don't want to see Shakur and Dalton.
I put that one at like 1% chance of ever happening.
I don't want to see that.
Even though, like, you don't think Smith presents like he's more of like would be the brawler in the Shakur scenario? I know he would be.
Yeah, that's the worst style to fight Shakur. It's the worst style. You have to counterpunch Shakur. Just like with De Los Santos. he was the guy who gave Shakur the most trouble.
Cepeda gave Shakur the best, most aesthetically pleasing fight, but not that Smith's going to throw 100 punches around.
Complete different style, though. Cepeda and Dalton aren't. You can't compare them. That's apples and oranges. Yeah, no, I don't know.
But in terms of a guy coming forward.
But is Dalton really that guy?
Analysts suggest that the physical difference between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez could be a decisive factor in their matchup. Shakur naturally carries more size, featuring a longer reach, broader shoulders, and a solid base. Even though Teofimo is a reigning champion at this weight, Shakur's power and control haven't been diminished by moving up to 140 pounds. Experts emphasize that size isn't just about scale, it's about leverage, stability, and how a fighter manages their mass in the ring. Shakur's height, reach, and calmness let him dictate distance and manage the pace effectively. Teofimo depends on explosive power and sudden bursts, which become harder to land cleanly against a larger, disciplined opponent. By using his size to apply pressure, control space, and gradually wear Teofimo down, Shakur could dramatically shift the dynamic of the fight.
Shakur Stevenson is bigger than Teofimo Lopez, despite him moving up in weight and despite Teo being the champion. We got some action, and in this video I'm going to show and prove and break it down. I'll make it make sense in this video. You got to stay to the end. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ego Weight Watchers, aka Ew, where I give you a look into the fighter's lifestyle before, after, progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. I warned you, Shakur, I have no idea why he tried to play this game where when people got on his...
Bernie the boxer breaks down why Shakur Stevenson is a uniquely dangerous opponent for Teofimo Lopez. He highlights that Stevenson is far from a fighter you can take lightly or confine to predictable patterns. Unlike many boxers who rely mostly on raw power or a single style, Shakur blends technical mastery with strategic awareness, making him highly unpredictable inside the ring. Bernie notes that opponents often misread Shakur, mistaking his calm, measured approach for a lack of aggression. In reality, Stevenson's adaptability and sharp ring IQ allow him to instantly capitalize on any opening. This mix of patience, timing, and skill gives him a distinct advantage, forcing fighters like Teofimo Lopez to contend not just with talent, but with one of the most disciplined and tactically aware boxers in the sport today.
But he couldn't beat a one-handed guy. And if you go back and watch that fight, like I'm saying, Shakur wasn't just running. Jermaine Ortiz really moved a lot on Teo. That never happened with Shakur Stevenson and fighting this guy. That never happened. You know, so De Los Santos is De Los Santos. You know, he got a reputation off of that. that boosted his reputation. I don't know why. He didn't do nothing to Shakur. He didn't wobble him, didn't hurt him, didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? And the man was one-handed. So, but shout out to De Los Santos. Like I say, I think he's more risk than reward. Actually, that'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason in his first title defense. That'll be a great fight for him in his title defense. That'll be a good. They should use him for that
instead of Joe Cordina.
Yeah, Joe Cordina was rough too, though. I watched him against the kid from Fresno. What's the kid's name? I forget his name. They was pushing him, but he just ain't there. He took a lot of punishment. He probably need to go get a job. Gabriel Flores. Gabe Flores. Yeah, Gabe Flores. Yeah. He from Fresno, or he from Sacramento. He from the Bay Area.
He just be training. Yeah, he be training.
Yeah. So I would say I would say that, you know what I mean? Because Abdullah Mason is the guy. You know, I think he got a lot of potential. And like I said, you know, him fighting a guy like De Los Santos is almost like a Bud fighting Gamboa in his first title defense. You know what I mean? So that would be a great fight for Abdullah Mason. You know what I mean? And he's more known than Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? And given the controversy that he's been in, you know what I'm saying? The way he's perceived as kind of feared, that'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason.
Damn, my boy Bernie said that's like Gamboa versus Crawford for his first title defense. That shit is fire.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford adds further insight, praising Shakur Stevenson with genuine respect and admiration. He explains that while some viewers might call Shakur boring, that label completely overlooks his exceptional skill. Stevenson's control of the ring is subtle but highly effective. He dictates the pace, stays safe, and positions himself to exploit any mistakes. Crawford points out that true boxing fans recognize the sophistication in Shakur's style, which goes far beyond flashy punches or highlight reel knockouts. His game is built on calculated precision, defensive intelligence, and measured aggression. Crawford is confident that anyone who underestimates Stevenson is missing the full extent of his mastery.
Because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like there's a big threat here to Shakur. And then it would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so...
That wraps up today's video. Stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one.